The Blues only have 2 more preseason games left, and let me tell you, they are not going to be easy whatsoever, but decisions do have to be made when it comes to this team's final roster, and this is coming up on Locked On Blues.
You're Locked On Blues, your daily podcast on the St. Louis Blues. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And welcome back to Locked On Blues. I am your host, Haley Taylor Simon, talking to you all things St. Louis Blues. Now, in today's episode, I am going to talk more about predictions. We have lineup predictions, my bold predictions, but before we get into that, I am going to talk to you about the Blues and the Stars tomorrow, since this is the Blues' second to last preseason game before the regular season. And the St. Louis Blues are in a very interesting position when it comes to their line projections so far, which I will get into a little bit later. But I want to talk more about this matchup and why this game is more important than Chicago's, because I feel like with the Stars, they are a team come regular season, they're going to be completely dominant. But with Chicago, I feel like a lot of their rookies and prospects are just absolutely blowing everyone away, obviously with Connor Bedard. So while that game is important, this game is more of an NHL ready game for me, if that makes sense. So I'm going to dig into that. I have to tell you, I am still mind blown about how Monday's game in Columbus went. Obviously, that was not the outcome any of us wanted, but it is the outcome that unfortunately happened, and it wasn't good. But the Blues and the Stars and why this game matters. The St. Louis Blues obviously will be facing the Stars quite a bit this regular season, as they're both in the Central Division together, and their first regular season of the game is actually in Dallas on October 12th, so less than a week. I am trying to do the math in my head. It is right now October 4th. It is October 12th, so about under a week, okay? And this is important for St. Louis because the Stars, I even predicted this, that this will be the team that's going to win the Stanley Cup this season. Do I like that? No. But is it my prediction, my thoughts? Yes. And that's just how it is. So I do apologize if that upsets anybody, but hey, at least it will be in the Central Division. I know that doesn't make it any better. I know. Okay. So they're going to face the Stars, and there already has been a couple rounds of cuts done. I talked about that in yesterday's episode. I'm still upset about Hugh McGing, but again, I think he will eventually be called up. But the Blues are now down to 34 players in training camp. And this lineup is going to be very better and heavy, which is why I even said that this is going to be more of a look towards the regular season ahead. And this will be the lineup for tomorrow. So I am going to talk about this lineup for tomorrow. I'm then obviously later in the episode going to talk about the Blues' lineup for when it comes to the regular season and some predictions on that. But tomorrow the lineup will, and I don't have the pairs yet, but I do have who will be playing. So forwards will be Sammy Blais. And Sammy Blais, and I'm going to touch on all these guys when I go over this in this segment, he has impressed me. He is somebody we know. He's usually on the third or the fourth line, but he has been working so hard throughout this training camp. He's been showing a lot of improvement and importance on the ice, which is really important, obviously, for the Blues. So for Sammy Blais, I'm happy that he has had such a successful training camp and continues to show that in the regular season. So Sammy Blais, then we have Bush, and then Hayes. I'm so used to saying last names, so I do apologize. If you ever need me, and my everydayers, I'm always open to feedback. If you're ever like, Haley, I want you to say the players' full names because that's easier, let me know. I'm such a last name person when it comes to sports. So I do apologize if that is something that is a little confusing for you. So I just want to put that out there. Then Kapanen, Kairu, Neighbors, Sad, Shen, aka Captain Shen, Sunny, Thomas, Torenchenko, and then Vranera. And then on defense, it's Folk, Krug, Letty, Paraco, Scandella, and Tucker. And then in net is Binner and Hoffer. So that to me does seem like a pretty solid lineup. It seems like a lineup that I would really trust for the regular season. I think that with this St. Louis Blues team, the defense in terms of pairings, I don't think they're as bad now that I'm thinking about it. Because, we have a Colton Paraco that is really good, okay? So I am 100% feeling more confident as this preseason is underway. Now, I know Monday's game, it does obviously call for some concern, okay? But at the end of the day, Kevin Hayes' line was the first line in Columbus. And that is not what it's going to be come regular season. And next segment, I'm going to get into the regular season projected lines. I'm just talking about tomorrow. So tomorrow's game, I do expect it to be as close to regular season as possible. I don't think it's going to be 100%. I think that they still need to look at things, make some adjustments. And here's the other thing, folks, that I think is really important going into tomorrow's game. The Dallas Stars are obviously a much better team than the St. Louis Blues. And I hate that. I wish that wasn't the case, but unfortunately, it is the case. And with the Dallas Stars, you got to take it with a grain of salt. You got to take it with, you know what? This team is obviously better. This game will. I really can't see the Blues outplaying the Stars. Now, I would like to see that, but I don't at the same time. And I hate that. I really do. But at the end of the day, it's going to be nice seeing Binner net, obviously, for a full game. And I think that there's going to be a lot of positives with how the Blues are going to play. And at the end of the day, I don't want Dallas to do well, okay? I don't. That is not what I want, but it is what it is. So, let's go see. The Stars did make one move that makes me, I don't want to say it's a little bit nervous. The club has recalled Kyle McDonald, from the Texas Stars, and this makes me nervous because he's actually a pretty good player, so I'm expecting to see him tomorrow night. But other than that, it's going to be the same guys that I feel like everyone is so used to seeing. And, you're going to have your Jackson Roberts. Why did I say Roberts? I meant Robertson. What? Hail. Ding dong. But I think when it comes to the Dallas Stars, and if there's a player that like Tyler Seguin's good, but he's getting a little bit older, and I don't know. This team is good. Okay. They have a lot of guys that are a little bit older, some more guys that have been in the league for quite a while, like Ryan Sutter. But at the end of the day, I still think that the Blues potentially really could put up a good fight. But Jake Ottinger, oh my gosh, Jake Ottinger. He is such a good goalie, so I'm hoping for the Blues' sake that they don't have him in net. But that is always a possibility. But I'm like, please don't do that, Dallas. But you never know, because like the Stars, they really would do something like that. So we will see. But hey, one game at a time. All right. So I am going to talk to you about something new. And this is Indeed. Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. Don't spend hours on multiple job sites looking for candidates with all the right skills when you can do it all with Indeed. Find top talent fast with Indeed's suite of powerful hiring tools like Indeed Instant Match assignments and virtual interviews. And I personally love Indeed. You can find so many different jobs. And if you're an employer too, I know people like friends of mine that are employers, and it's completely easy for them to do. So, this is what Indeed is. It is your all in one website, which I absolutely love. And this is how you can get started on Indeed. So visit Indeed.com/locked on to start hiring now. Just go to Indeed.com/locked on. Indeed.com/locked on. Terms and conditions apply. Cost per application pricing not available for everyone. Need a hire? You need Indeed. Indeed, you do. I'm sorry. I had to. Okay. So, Hale, what are you going to talk about? Well, how about we talk about some lineup predictions? Yeah. Okay. St. Louis Blues season is about to begin. I don't know why I said it like that. I said it like very singy-songy. I can't sing. Okay, here we go. I see in the first line, we will have Robert Thomas as the center. And on the left, it will be Bush. And then on the right, it will be Cairo. Boom, lock it in right now. Like, lock it in. Okay. The second line, centering will be your captain, Braden Shen. And then Jacob Vanra on the left and Kasperi Kapanen on the right. The third line, I see Oscar Sundqvist, and I want him to be winged on the left by Braden Sad and Alexei Tornchenko. And then on the fourth line, it will be Kevin Hayes as the center. And then on the left wing, it will be Jake Neighbors and my boy on the right, Sammy Blais. That is what I think. I think that these line predictions that I'm coming up with, right, are what's going to be best for the team. And I really did not expect, Sonny to have the third line and Case to have the fourth line in my predictions. But from what I've seen, I just think that the fourth line is really important and really vital. And if you have a guy like Kevin Hayes, who has his veteran leadership experience, he's been around the league, he knows what he's doing. I was looking for my cat. Then it's actually going to be more beneficial than what most people think. So I do like my pairings on the forwards especially. But again, if you don't agree and you're like, hell, sis, I don't know if I agree with you, let me know what you would have, because I feel like that's what's going to set this team up most for success. All right, here we go with the defense. Torrey Krug and Colton Parayko. Now, I'm putting Krug on the first because I just think that he's going to have such a better season, and I just expect more out of him. Then we're going to have Nick Leddy and Justin Folk. I feel like this is obviously very strong. And I like Jay Folk and I like Leddy. I just think that them as a pair would be really good. And then finally, it's going to be Mr. Scott Pernuch and Robert Bertuzzo will be the next. So that is my predictions. And then in net, obviously, starting goaltender without a doubt, Binner. And then backup will be Hoffer. So that is my prediction. I like it. If you don't like it, I don't care, because I truly think that that's what's going to be best for the St. Louis Blues come regular season. And I like those pairings quite a bit. So I don't know if you're listening, Baruby. Hey, what's up? Welcome to Locked On Blues. Make sure you subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Use that in tomorrow's game as best as you can. So listen, folks, I'm not trying to coach this team. But if given the opportunity, I would like to put my 2 cents in, and that is my 2 cents. And I think that's what would make this a very successful team this season, will be putting in my line predictions. But it's going to be nice to see Joel Hofer take the net more this season. Obviously, Binner's the guy. I love Jordan Binghamton, and there's no doubt whatsoever that he is, our starting goalie, but it is also nice to have a backup that can hold himself within the net. And the other game was not his fault, okay? He had no defensive coverage in the blue line, and that's why I'm saying put Torrey Krug up. And even when it comes to like the PK, I just need bigger bodies on the ice. I'm not looking for, the best skills. Forecheck, make some guys uncomfortable, and take control of the ice. That is all I'm asking, because sometimes I think with the St. Louis Blues team, when you ask too much, it's just going to blow up in your face, because this team is not capable of being able to. I'm trying to be nice. This team is not as capable when it comes to defense, and they could improve. But at the end of the day, I don't really trust it. So that's why I'm saying put big bodies out on the ice and try as much as possible to kind of just, make some players uncomfortable. And that's how you're going to get through this season. And then hopefully some trades will be made by the trade deadline, and the Blues can get some younger defenders, some better players. And then once Dvorsky and, some of our boys from the draft, they're finally ready, they can be brought back up from their junior teams now, then the Blues will be a really good team. And then we're going to be really happy. And every single episode of Locked On Blues, I'm going to say, oh my gosh, we have such a good team heading into the season. But unfortunately, I'm not there yet. Unfortunately, that's going to take some time. But I'm allowed to be optimistic. I keep on getting Chris Johnston's tweets on my, because I have, here, I'll show you my phone. If you can see on YouTube, that's my phone. I have his tweet notifications turned on because he is my hockey guy. I literally go to him for everything hockey. If I want to get the inside scoop, that is not a shout out or a promo. That's just like a fact. And right now, so many players are being put on waivers, and I'm like, oh my gosh, are they clearing? Are they not clearing? Like, I need to know what's going on. So if you see me looking over at my phone, it's because right now it's absolutely insane in hockey land. And that's why I try filming my episodes later in the day. That way, when they get put out, it's like the most relevant information. So when you listen tomorrow, you know what's going on. You're not having to do any second guessing of, is this a relevant podcast with relevant information? Yes. I promise you, yes. There are times where I will film during like earlier in the day, just a little FYI. And when I'm about to upload it, like breaking news happens, or, things get released of who's playing in the games tomorrow. And I'm like, man, like I can't put out this episode because this is not the most up-to-date information. But hold on, I'm going to talk about my poll prediction. Okay, just bear with me. Before I get into this whole rant, let's talk about something that I truly love, and that is FanDuel. Snap into action this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is super easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. I love FanDuel, and let me tell you, right now this NFL season, it is super easy to make some shmoney. Okay. So we all know all this stuff in the NFL. I don't have to talk about it with the Chiefs. Honestly, you can take Mahomes on throwing at least like 225 yards a game, and then you could even do like a Travis Kelce anytime touchdown. Do those together, boom, you make money. That's what I've been doing. I do 2 leg parlays instead of 3 because when I do 3, it doesn't go well, but the 2s always hit. So make some money with FanDuel. Okay, I'm going to go back to my rant now. Okay. Anywho, this is going to all be within my bold prediction. I think that trades are important for success of not only your team, but other teams throughout the NHL. And you've seen players that have really blossomed. And when I think about trades, okay, this is not really a trade, but this is, it is. And I know we're playing Dallas, so this actually is relevant. Tyler Seguin was on the Boston Bruins, and essentially they blackballed him because he didn't go to a team breakfast, and they got rid of him. He ends up in Dallas and is uber successful in Dallas, more so than he ever was in Boston. Now, this worked out because Boston received a good amount for him, and the Stars obviously got him. So what is my point? What am I trying to say here? The Blues are in an interesting situation where they have veterans who've been around for a long period of time in this league. They have really good prospects, okay? Better than most teams. They're just not ready for the NHL, but they have value. The St. Louis Blues, what they need right now is solid defense. And I have been screaming that here on this podcast. And my bold prediction is that March 8th is the trade deadline. There is going to be a blockbuster trade surrounding your St. Louis Blues coming this trade deadline for one of the best defenders in the NHL. I hope. Let me further explain. So, hi, I'm Haley, and I just want the Blues to be successful. That's so funny. But anywho, the Blues obviously are in search of a really solid free agent when it comes, well, not even free agent. I mean, yeah, a trade, free agency. But the thing with free agency is sometimes you want to get rid of those guys that have their contracts ending literally like within a few months when the season ends because it just would make sense. So this is what I think. And just hear me out. Jacob Muzzin is buzzing. He will be a free agent come 2024. He is somebody that I enjoy a lot. He is somebody that I know. Maybe, and like in my notes, I even have down, I sound crazy, but I'm still going to go with my prediction. I think he is young enough, but he's old enough in the league. I know that sounds like a very weird thing. In my notes, I literally have old but young because he plays young. He's like 35. But still, it's just bear with me. That could be somebody that you get for like a low amount of money, because he's older, but he plays young, so that is fine. You also, if you want to get, this is the thing, a lot of these guys are old, but then you have a guy that's on the Sabres right now. You have Rasmus Dahlin, who is only 23 years old. who is a phenomenal defender, so you can get him. There are so many guys. I like how I have Jacob Muzzin, young enough in the league, but at the same time old. I can't get over that. That is some great note-taking on my end. But no, he's buzzing. He still plays young. The point that I am trying to make is that the St. Louis Blues have such potential to get some really solid defenders come trade deadline, so you get them for a lower price. You still have your cap space relatively safe and secure, and you don't get rid of a lot. You're welcome. You can call me Haley Army because because I want to make the St. Louis Blues a playoff winning team. Not even contending, winning. And that's how we do it here on Locked On Blues. As always, you can follow on social media on YouTube at Locked On Blues, my own social media at Haley T. Simon. And make sure you subscribe if you're on YouTube, and on Twitter, follow. I don't know how to end this besides saying let's go Blues.